multimedia had a very bigger platform, but then the mentors that we encountered, yourself, Dr. Tonyi Senayah, the late Asuma Banda, the late Dr. Jekumado, Kofi Amoabeng, Dr. Joyce Aye, Esther Koba. It was a very powerful experience. And at that moment, when we sat in that sessions with you guys, you said a lot of things that didn't make sense then because we had just started businesses and you were sharing your top experience.
Turn around. Turning point. Yeah. He's a turn around. Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Okran. Welcoming you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Christ is risen. He's risen indeed. So this is the special resurrection edition of the virtual university. That means that whatever dream, aspiration, whatever you sacrifice so much for that seems to be lost, who knows, could resurrect today as you reflect on the thoughts with my guest for today. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with Enterprise Group, MTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, and the Graphic Communications Group, as well as the Springboard channel on YouTube. So today is about the entrepreneurial mindset. What kind of thinking does it take to start a business? What kind of discipline is required? What kind of sacrifices are required? What must you do, if I may say so, that you may work the works of God? Let's find out about how people start businesses, what sacrifices they make, what battles they fight, what learnings they garner. And is there an inflection point where suddenly, after all the initial struggles, things begin to get smooth? Or is it battle after battle? My guest for today is totally qualified to help us appreciate the ups and downs, ins and outs, lefts and rights of business. He is the CEO of Horseman Shoes and the founder, my friend Tonyi Senayah. Tonyi, good to see you.
Good to see you, Rev.
How do we even start this one?
Well, let me start by saying that you look very good and you have always been same since I've ever known you. How many? Since 2010?
16 years.
16 years.
Let's start from then. 16 years ago, this very handsome, precocious, very excited young man walks into a Joy FM organized My Business 2010 initiative. Yeah. And everyone says, okay, I want to try events. Somebody says, I want to try this. And he says, I want to do shoes. Here am I sitting down with other mentors and saying, oh, wow, that sounds exciting. Tell us about that time, before we even go to where the idea originated from, that moment walking into the My Business 2010 and that experience.
So for me, it was the platform that shot me into the world. Apart from the fame that it brought, because multimedia had a very bigger platform, but then the mentors that we encountered, yourself, Dr. Tonyi Senayah, the late Asuma Banda, the late Dr. Jekumado, Kofi Amoabeng, Dr. Joyce Aye, Esther Koba. It was a very powerful experience. And at that moment, when we sat in that sessions with you guys, you said a lot of things that didn't make sense then because we had just started businesses and you were sharing your top experience. But down the years, down the line, they ring. Oh, okay, this is what this guy meant when he said this. So for instance, Amwabin used to say that time is not money, time is life. So if someone doesn't respect your time, they are wasting your life. It stuck with me and it has shaped me along the line. So anytime I have an appointment, I make sure I arrive on time. On the other hand, if the person doesn't arrive on time, okay, this person doesn't have respect for time, meaning they don't have respect for you. And then a story that the late Dr. Ado shared, Kama, he said that he gave the analogy of a tree. A tree starts bearing fruits when it gains roots and the branches start coming up. So for business people, when we start and the money start coming, we shouldn't be fooled to think that we have arrived. We should gain root first. Family pressure will come. Friends will call you. And yes, at that point, I experienced it because I was almost always on TV, on the media, and people equate availability or popularity to success. So they will call you, I saw you on TV, I need this. I said, I don't have. I don't have, but you're always on TV. But no, but when I was, if I'm on TV, I'm not being given money, I'm not sharing money, So those stories always help. So for me, it was one of the biggest platform and one opportunity that has shaped my journey, and through that I went through a series of mentorship and accelerator programs.
So at the time, 16 years ago, you came in and you said you were going to do shoes. With time, everyone got to know about you.
Yes.
The president's shoemaker. Everyone wanted to speak to you. But how did you even get the idea of going into shoes? Was it demand driven? Was it opportunity you saw? Was it imagination? What sparked it?
I think it would be an imagination and then opportunity. I was driving around 2008 on the N1. It wasn't the N1 then. I had my school pendant in my car, Prempeh College. So a street guy walked to me, was selling, and said amount for. Then he mentioned a suburb that he lived in, a suburb where Prempeh College is. So I asked him, "But what are you doing in Accra?" Then he said that he learned how to sew, but after weaning himself off the apprenticeship program, he didn't have any capital to start. So he has come to Accra to hustle, get money, and go and buy his machines. So immediately it dawned on me that there are many of these guys around. Okay, one day I will do a technical training institute. I'll build a big factory and put them in. It was very a casual thought. When I was doing my national service, then I lived with a man who was making shoes, but he had a rickety shop in our house. So after work, I'll go and sit with him. He would tell me stories of his life in Europe and how it didn't go well. The small money that he got, he bought machines and came to set up the shoes. So along the line, I went to the internet and pulled a design for him. He did it for me. I took it to work. My colleagues loved it. At that time, we were being paid 125 cedis. So they were wondering how I could afford such an expensive looking shoe. So those who knew where I lived will come and place order. Then a friend from PwC then placed an order, took it to work. Then his friend started calling me, Jack, I hear say they make some shoes. So I started taking the order. So it dawned on me that, okay, there's an opportunity here. I wanted to start with clothing, but then it's starting with the shoes. So I'll go and take their orders, their own designs, bring it to master. Master, can you do this for me? Oh, he will do it. I will take orders for like 6, pay him 3, go and sell, come and pay him the rest. This is around late 2009. Then 2010, after testing the concept, I didn't even know it was that period, but after doing it for a while, I realized that, okay, it didn't matter to the Ghanaian where the shoes were coming from, provided it met their taste and standard. So I told my dad in Kumasi that, Jack, this is what I want to do. So, okay, come, there's a shoemaker who lived in our area. And what God will do, the stars aligned. Randomly, a guy calls me from Dansman that they have some pieces of leather that they brought. They want to discard it.
You're joking.
He gave me 2 sacks of pieces of leather. I took it to Kumasi. I did about 40 pairs of sandals. The shoemaker told me it was going to take like 3 weeks. It ended up taking like 2 months. So I asked him, Kofi, what was the issue? Then he told me, oh, he didn't have all the equipment and the machine, so he had to go to town. So I asked him to give me a list of machines that we would need if we want to produce under one roof. He sent me the list. I walked around Kumasi Magazine, other places, and assembled the basics of machinery. Then I put them under a
That's what was your educational level?
I had finished Legon. And
what do you read at Legon?
I read sociology. And
sociology, carpentry shop, or what leather
yes.
shop, Kumasi Magazine. I sat in sociology department. Who taught you the sociology?
I had Reverend Otrefo.
Okay.
I had one Dr. Mens.
Dr. Mens, yes.
Yes, Abuchi.
Yes, Chris.
Yeah, Professor Chris Abuchi.
Yes. And along Professor Nikunya.
Yes, we met Nikunya.
Can you imagine after sitting in Nukunya's class, Chris Abuchi's class, they are working in Kumasi Magazine? What are you doing there?
Exactly. At a point, my mom would meet people and say, "Oh, this is my son. He's looking for a job." Say, "Oh man, God, no, I make shoes. Hey man, casa crash need it. What am Papa saying?"
I had that conversation with my mom as well.
Okay.
When I started doing my business in handicrafts at the time, she was like, Charlie, how can I even tell my friends what you are doing?
Oh, I also you've been in handicraft before.
Oh, tell it, yeah.
Al, you've really no, but Albert, you have done well.
Let's
You have,
still with your story.
but maybe one day we have to sit here and then you will tell us your story.
Oh.
So yes, 2010. I had an idea that okay, when we were in Prempeh College, at a point we were wearing uniform sandals. So I wrote to a number of secondary schools, including your school in Fansipim. I met Kwame Eja,
Wow.
the then headmaster, and it wasn't a difficult conversation at all. I just did a catalog of my sandals, and then I went to these schools. So yes, I got a few orders in 2010. They were huge orders. That was the beginning. I did brown shoes for GSTS. I did shoes for Archbishop Porters, Accra Girls. So I realized that okay, it isn't that difficult. But once you start, you have patience and you bring structure to it. Things will work. But I also learned a very hard lesson because it was my first time. I didn't do what they call the cost benefit analysis. I was just excited about the order. Okay, in Fansipim wants 2,000. If I produce at say 20 CDs and I give it to them at 40 CDs, I am making a margin of 20 CDs. So I will do my math and get excited even before I start the business. But I didn't know that schools took time to pay. So the monies that you've gone for from people, the interest that you are paying, I didn't factor in all that. You promise suppliers you pay at this time, monies didn't come through. You promised the guys that you work with, money didn't come through. So 2010 December was a very hard period for me. People wanted money to spend their Christmas and schools haven't paid you, so you can also pay them. So anytime my phone rang, my mom would be looking at me. I said no.
Wow.
So but I also tried to answer every call, unless I was in a church where I couldn't talk about debt. So as soon as I go down, I will call the person that I owed and I explained to them that it's not my fault, schools haven't paid. So I took money from my friends and they were very gracious. So at a point they said, no, look, you will stop calculating the interest. When they pay, you come and pay as the principal and they cap the interest for me. So one lesson I learned there was being truthful and having integrity.
I could literally take your name off and put my name on this story.
And
and promising friends all kinds of because you didn't have access to the banking system at
no.
I'm sure you reflect on those days and they sound almost like that you're telling a fairy tale or story or something.
Those guys we meet and down, they tell people that this guy when he started, I gave him my money. They see that with a modicum of pride that they were part of the beginning of my story.
When you reflect on those moments, how does it make you feel?
For me, it's a number of things that people start businesses not because they have the competence. Like I saw the opportunity, so it is driven by passion. And it's okay to make mistakes at that early stage because the mistakes will definitely come. So when you make the mistake at that early stage, you learn from it. So for me now, before I go into any contract execution, I understand what to do. Okay, what is in for me? What are the numbers? Can we have an agreement? Those basic things.
Right.
We deal on trust. And like I say, the excitement. In France, people want 2,000. You are so excited. Your first idea, afa. So you don't do these things. So yes, when I look back, it was a very big learning moment for me. So for a period, I stopped doing the school sandals because I needed to understand. The margins were very small. So I needed to bring the numbers to it and understand. So yes, I learned how to take your time to fulfill orders, no matter how big and exciting that it is. And also, like I said, I raised money on the phone from my friends. So I was in Kumasi. I'll call my friend in Accra, then say, but we should sign an agreement. I will tell her, I should come to Accra to sign. Just transfer the money. They understand that this is me they are dealing with. So relationships is very important, and staying true, your word being your bond. So they gave me the money based on my relationship and my knowing who I was. So you stay true to your character. You don't disappoint people. When challenges come, let them know.
I'm going to put you in a diagnostic machine right now and take you apart in terms of what assets you had so that my production team that are thinking of building businesses, the Roberts, the Samis, the Isaacs, can learn the real, because there's always the front line nice things that we see, and then the behind the scenes, what really does work. And I want us to go into that. But with the benefit of hindsight, I get a sense that some of the mistakes, you say it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that if you make those mistakes when you are smaller, your chance of survival is better than when you
Yep.
start, boom, and then you make one big mistake.
Yeah, and then
I won't say again.
it crashes. Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe in the power of starting small. You know, when you start small, you have the room to make the mistakes, learn. Um, we also don't start businesses in industry that we are so versed in knowledge. You know, so it's passion. So through that period, you also learn about the industry. After 2010, I understood how to develop a business plan, but then I'll go and see someone. Okay, what do you want to do? Then they'll put numbers together for you. It wasn't I didn't even understand the industry. They also go on the internet and look at the industry standards, benchmarks, and put it on it. You can't even speak to it. You just go and debaba. So you meet the experts, you all the nice English, they'll just look at the numbers. How many are you able to produce in a month? What's your turnover? Then they have an idea of your business. You know, so when you start small, you learn about the industry, the opportunities, the challenges. With time, you may even realize that this is not a place for you. So, yes, I believe in the power of starting small. So, these are the lessons that I have learned along the journey. And passion alone doesn't build a business. It's good, it's a good starting point. But as you grow, you shift from just mastering the craft into learning the numbers as well.
But you had plenty of passion. Don't let remember.
Yeah, yes,
You
yes,
still
yes.
do.
I still do.
Yeah.
Because it gets tiring, it gets difficult, it gets boring, but then it's the passion that carries you through. You know, at a point,
Must every entrepreneur have passion?
yes, you must.
Some extent of passion.
Yeah, some extent of passion because you don't do it for the money necessarily. You know, if it's the money, the first 4 or 5 years, you will not do it. So you must have a greater calling than just the money. And when you do it right, the money will start looking for you. And I have learned this through the years. So yes, the passion is very important.
Use the word calling. You see it as a calling.
Yeah, it's a calling.
Wow.
Yeah,
How does a calling manifest?
it manifests through surmounting all the challenges. Everything that life throws at you, business throws at you, you will still dust yourself and say that okay, fine, I'll give it one more shot. You know, and you are always finding ways to make it work.
Have you tried running away before?
Oh yes, I have cried before. I have cried and told my friends that I mean you. I once told my dad that if I died early, they should ask a guy that I used to work with. You know, because they didn't understand. You know, they think that you just come and speak English to them and then order them around because they have been trained in a certain way, but you want a certain quality that they are not used to. So there was always friction, and they disappoint you without any remorse, any feeling. You know, so yes, it was really hurting that they were not seeing the vision. So at a point, I said, no, 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 I'm tired because a guy disappointed. Someone wanted shoes to go to Kenya, in fact, slippers to go to Kenya. And midweek, I was calling to find out what's up, where they are. The guy had left because his Ebusiapin had called him to come for a funeral or someone died in their village. And yeah, he didn't even care. 2 days, his phone was off. When I got through to him, that he told me the story very calmly, like nothing has happened.
Yeah. That's the artisans you're working with.
Yes, yes, yes.
You got a funeral, so you can't deliver the
Yeah,
goods.
no. And look, somebody has died in my family. Do you understand? So please, I mean, this is just standards that I'm making. That is the vibe that I got, and it was really, 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 really hurting. You know, so I'm working with artisans. Yeah, has taught me a lot.
I hang out with people like Constance Swanica, who was here a couple of weeks ago, who's doing precision work in
Yep.
the area of metal work and so on. And seeing in the beginning, getting people to think about that level of excellence and precision is almost like war.
Yep.
But it takes persistence. And
Yeah,
it
takes time. So when you understand how they think, their experience, their exposure, you also um fashion out ways to also let them get you. So my guys, this is what I did. Anytime I had events in Accra, big events that people will come, I bring some of them to come and see the kind of people we make the shoes for. You know, these are people who by a click of a button can buy shoes from any part of the world. So if they decide to buy from you, then you must give them value. So yes, these are people that you see on TV, here on radio, they are always in the news, but they are here, they come open their purses to buy a pair from us. So gradually, they got to understand our target group that okay. So when the shoes come and I tell you there's a scratch here, don't tell me say "Obi take it, nobody will see it." But I have seen it. It was a very big fight, but now they understand. And when the presidential endorsement also came, they realized that okay, this is what the guy has been talking about. Yes, it is a very difficult, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of patience. They will try and test you, but you know the journey and you have to work with them. Your level of exposure they don't have, the vision that you carry they don't see. So as part of as a leader, you also have to learn how to work and drag your people along.
Yeah. The way you said presidential endorsement casually, I didn't like it. It wasn't casual. I mean,
No, of course
the
not.
day President Muhammad said, what year was that?
February 2014.
Charlie, tell us about what happened. Did your phone start ringing all of a sudden?
Oh yeah. I
What
was in the chamber and I didn't even know he was going to wear the shoes. So like 10 minutes, my battery died. 10 minutes after I was in the chamber, people were calling. And some of the mentors that I had met on the Joy FM platform, you know, they were calling, they were texting. Yeah. So I had met the president a week earlier at a meeting where he was meeting business community, big, small startups. So I happened to be in one of those sessions with him. So after speaking, I told him I was representing young entrepreneurs and people in the shoe, like the craft industry. So after making my presentation, I said casually, Mr. President, I have to wear Horseman shoes. I said it casually. I said, okay. He told me his size and gave me a number to call when the shoes are ready. This was like a Tuesday, a week before the program, the State of the Nation address. I didn't even call. Sunday, someone called me. The president wanted some shoes. Is it done? I said yes. So I delivered it around 11 p.m. Monday, the person called again around 10 p.m. What is your story? I told them my story. Around 12 midnight, the person called. The president wants you in the chamber. And then my wife and kid were coming from the US. So I told him, oh, I'll be at the airport. I'll be at the airport to meet my wife and son. And the man at the other end said, young man, you understand what is happening?
Please hold on for a second. Let me come to that. When I wrote our first book in 2004, I got a call one day. Albert, this is Komla Dumont. Tomorrow I want to interview you on the Horseman Shoes about your book, 10 Commandments of Success. We hear it's very good. And I said, oh, another station just called me an hour ago that I should come on their TV. He said, Albert, this is the Horseman Show.
Joy 99.7.
The way you said it was almost like, are you serious?
Are you serious? This is Joy FM.
The next day I was there. The next day I was there.
Yeah.
But so he says, young man, do you understand?
Do you understand what I said? Sorry, sir, I'll be there. So I was in the chamber when, because of the dress he wore, I didn't even see his shoes. Then along the line, he mentioned that I am wearing Horseman shoes. I met Tonyi Senayah. He told that story. Albert, look, I have lived with it, and I'm sure that even when I die and the brand still exists, it will be a story for the brand.
But it's also about a leader's ability to spot.
Yeah.
A moment that a young person who may have not much will never forget. I'm sure you'll never forget it all.
No. Since that I have had a personal relationship with him. And normally when I meet brand experts, I ask them if they were managing a personality like the president, how much would they cost that endorsement? And nobody has been able to put a figure to it. Yeah. We still have customers working today. They've never bought from us before, but their first experience, normally I would want to ask, if you meet me, how did you hear from us? Most of them through the president endorsement, and before that was through my business 2010. Those are, yeah.
It's a proud moment for all of us.
Yes.
Because in your presentation, I mean, I'm sure you give the credits to the president, and rightly so. But something you must have said, something you must have done, something you must have positioned yourself as, must have connected with this mind. When you say I represent, that means that there is a constituency of people and you are an embodiment of them.
Exactly.
Just that pitch may have been a result of some of those exposures that you got about
it
how
could
to
be.
pitch.
I even spoke about Kente because I had been to the US on a yearly fellowship, and I wore Kente bow tie to a reception. Everybody wanted it. Kente bow tie that I bought like 2 CDs at Art Center. So I told him that if government could really position Kente as a national artifact, So I spoke about a range of issues, not necessarily the shoes. Yeah.
And years later, a Fugu encounter suddenly makes Fugu.
Yeah, Fugu and puts Fugu on the world fashion space.
So far in my conversation, I'm picking up a sense of patience, intentionality,
yes,
passion, and then a commitment to excellence, among others, as qualities that you you embody. I put you on the diagnostic table as I promised. When I come back from this break, we'll put all these on the table for the person listening and watching who says, well, I don't do shoes. I do plantain chips.
Yeah.
I do events. I do whatever it is that they do, and try and distill how a certain line of questioning that can help them also transition from one opportunity on the N1 to a brand that 16 years later is still going from strength to strength. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
This is Springboard, your virtual investor. I'm here with Tonyi Senayah. He's the founder and CEO of Horseman Shoes. We are tracing the journey from when I had the privilege of meeting him 16 years ago till today, when the brand has grown to the point that needs no introduction. Trying to find out what attributes he has and what turning point moments in his journey fueled the growth. We also are looking at some of the tough moments when you announce that you've broken through because you got 2,000 shoes ordered when you didn't know that there was no profit on it and the payment won't come right now. We'll talk about all that a bit more when we come back. But this is brought to you by the Springboard Ratio Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Interestingly, that program highlights opportunities in agriculture, agribusiness, and then the technical and vocational sectors that Tonyi represents big time. When we come back from the break, let's look at a bit more your idea and how it can transition to become the next big Horseman Shoes. Please don't go away.
Going to the library. Going to the library.
Okay.
I'm going for my graduation. Go well.
Education changes stories, and being part of these stories is the real passion for us. MTN.
No stress. Submit your insurance claim online in just seconds on the Claims Express portal. Simply upload your national ID, cost estimates, pictures, and more to get started. Submit online, track progress, and get paid fast. Skip the paperwork and get back on the road with ease. Visit claimexpress.enterprisegroup.net.gh for easy claims and quick payouts with absolutely no stress.
Enterprise, your advantage.
The journey from idea to enterprise begins with one bold step forward. Are you a Ghanaian or a legal resident in Ghana with a registered business operating in Ghana? Are you between the ages of 18 to 40 years old? If your answer is yes to all of these, then this is your time to be in that spotlight.
With up to 500,000 Ghana cedis in cash prize and mentorship to grow that dream business through Enterprise Spotlight, this is your big moment. From agriculture, fashion, engineering, transportation to AI and software technology, as long as it's innovative, impactful, and ingenious, it belongs here. To apply, simply scan the QR code or call the number displayed on your screens right now. This initiative is proudly brought to you by the Enterprise Group and is a youth entrepreneurship challenge.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual investor, and to this incredible conversation about business, the entrepreneurial mindset. What kind of mindset do you need to build a business? And my friend Tonyi Senayah is telling me the Genesis, the Exodus, the Leviticus, the Numbers, and the Deuteronomy, the Numbers especially, and the Deuteronomy of Horseman Shoes. I'm going to come to Tonyi very shortly, but let me just remind you that we are on the hunt for a set of potential Horseman Shoes stories that we can showcase to the world. And so, courtesy of our friends at the Enterprise Group, they are doing what they call the Enterprise Spotlight, just looking for young people with ideas like Tonyi did 16 years ago, that they can just give a little push to. One of you stands the chance to earn as much as 100,000 Ghana cedis, another person 80,000 Ghana cedis. But like Tonyi said, the most important thing is that you will get a year of mentorship, coaching, and guiding. That's when you get to meet a president, you know what to say that will get a presidential endorsement. These are big, priceless. Sometimes I think we place too much value on just the cash, but one good idea to can change everything.
Yes. Ideas run everything.
Yeah.
You know. So that's what I said. If you focus too much on the money, you miss a lot of things. You know. Yeah. So it's the ideas and having the patience.
The patience.
Yeah.
And if you have patience for the idea and you want the spotlight to fall on the idea and also to know the right thing to see when the spotlight falls, just send your application. Send it tomorrow latest. Tomorrow is the deadline. Send it. Send it to 02499995555. Just send the word enterprise as a WhatsApp message and you'll be sent the link, or go to springboard.com.gh and then you will find the link to apply, or go to the enterprise website. Just make sure you apply. And who knows, even if you're not the overall winner and you get to be in the group of 24 young people who are mentored, your business could be the one that would make the biggest leap. I was interviewing a friend who said she went for a beauty contest and lost. She did not win it. But the opportunity that came for her out of the business contest was more than the person who won.
Yeah.
It's not always about just winning the overall prize. It's just about being at the right place at the right time. And who knows, it could be the turning point in your life. Well, one of the voices I like very much in marketing and management says the best way to predict the future is to create it. And then my friend Ibukun Awosika in Nigeria says entrepreneurship is about turning what excites you in life into capital.
Yeah.
Turning the thing that you are passionate about into capital. So let's talk about the what, the why, the where, the how, the who, and even the when.
The when, yeah.
Somebody wants to build the next Horseman Shoes. They've seen you, then they go and try and do shoes. Then the thing doesn't work. How do they determine what it is that they must go into?
Okay, so I think over the years, it could be something that you are passionate about, but it could also be, and more importantly, a pain point, a problem. You know, so I have learned that entrepreneurship or business is solving problems for other people, and I've heard the stories of people who have built group of companies. So Dr. Ado would say that he had Kama Forest Bureau. It didn't make sense to people that you are a health person, you are building pharmacies. So why do you have a Forex Bureau? Then he explained that because they were importing a lot. So at any time they wanted to change Forex, it was a problem for them. So they decided to introduce their own Forex Bureau, which became another arm of his business. So always identify what solutions you can offer, what value you can give to people. That is if it is not within your immediate passion. And even sometimes not all our passions are viable, you know, so always identify the pain points of people. So when we started the shoes, what we started selling was the idea that you design your own shoe, because I didn't have designs. I didn't even know what the young boys wanted. It was then when I go to events, and even till now, before I shake your hands, I've looked at what you are wearing. Okay, these are what the guys wanted. So we started curating our designs along those lines. And then the idea that we will bring it to your offices. You don't have to go to Kantamanto. And those days, boutiques were very, very expensive. So yes, when you order, we design for you, we bring it to your office at your convenience. So those were the pain points that we were addressing at that time. So what problem are you addressing? Start small. You may not have what the big corporations have to do, what they call the market research. So yours is to start small within your circle, how they respond to it. When you go one ring beyond your circle, then you know that, okay, this idea is good, only to a point where you can scale up.
You know, you say it so casually, and you say it's not like big research, but it is research. It is research power, and it's also founded, interestingly enough, on deep philosophical thought and even on scripture.
Okay.
Because if you want to evangelize the whole world, you start from Jerusalem, then you go to Judea, then you go to Samaria before you go to the uttermost parts of the world. You don't want to start from here. No, you're in New York.
No,
And this is your immediate circle.
yes.
Charlie, what do you think of this?
Exactly.
How is it going? Then you go to the second circle and you learn as you go.
Yeah.
Tell me, let's go to the how. I look today, if I walked into a function, social event today, I think Ghanaian music will get more traction than foreign music.
Yes.
When I was in secondary school, it was obvious. The biggest music, the biggest demand was for foreign music. And it was almost seen to be cheap to play local music throughout at an event. But today, you can go to an event and you have local music played back to back from beginning and different genres, and it's a source of great pride. The foreign one will get 1-2 touches, but it's local dominated. How do you think that yourself, as well as others, got the market to shift from an overriding demand for foreign shoes to wearing local shoes and wearing them with great pride?
Great. I think it was a season of consciousness. I think the then government started Made in Ghana. The media got on it, so, and we happened to be there at the right time. So when I started, the bias or the perception towards Made in Ghana was at the height of it. So anytime you said the shoe was made in Ghana, then they have to raise it to the light and find a problem. Say, Yanka, Made in Ghana is of inferior quality. But down the years, we also realized that in as much as there was a campaign for Made in Ghana, we also have to give customers the value for their money. So it was a very intentional and a conscious effort to do that. And around 2014, I went into a business accelerator where we were forced to understand the importance of creating values for your business. So I chose world class, and by world class, I meant that there is nothing like a Ghanaian standard or an African standard. There's only one standard. So that if you get the shoes from here, it's equal to the shoes that you buy on the 5th Avenue or on Jeremiah Street in London. So it was an intentional decision. So I think young people, once you start small, or the moment you start, have at the back of your mind that you are doing excellence, regardless how small your operation is. Then it becomes a culture, So yes, Ghanaians came to that realization that, okay, we can find quality here in Ghana. And within this period, we are very proud to say anytime they mention they are standardizing quality in Ghana, they mention our product. It was intentional, it was deliberate, and it was hard work.
You've done the what, you've done the how. Let's talk about the why. Why must a person pursue a career in business, entrepreneurship? Why must they go into doing their own business instead of the other career options that are available to them?
For me, I have also come to realize that business may not be for everyone, just like asofudi, medicine, accounting. But once you find a knack, also see that as your calling, as your profession. The seriousness, the pride a doctor will attach to the profession of his, you should also find that's because we are all contributing to humanity. We are all doing God's work, So Albert, normally when I'm in difficult situations, I tell God that, Jack, it is you who gave me this job to do. It's your work I'm doing, so bail me out. When you approach it with that mindset, I think that you will find a way around it. But if you come in as as a connection person, let me do a gig and jump out, that is when then the business is not for you. So have you may not necessarily have the plan lay out throughout, but once it is from your heart, you mean well, you are committed to it, challenges will come, but you will find a way around it.
So for you, making shoes is the work of God.
Yes, it is the work of God. So for now, I have even moved away from just making shoes, but also creating employment for young people. In fact, that was my core ideology when I started. The reason why along the line people will come, oh, we want to invest, and then I'll tell them my challenges as production capacity, because getting skilled labor with good attitude, is a miracle. Why don't we go to China? Why don't we go to Turkey? But then it will defeat my core ideology. My core ideology is to do it here, do world class here, provide employment for young people who have learned the skill in shoe, fulfilling employment for people who have learned the skill in shoemaking.
Do you feel like an ambassador?
Well, maybe indirectly. I have not been crowned, but yes, having been in the space for this while, I think is divine. That's yes. People look up to me. I have met a lot of guys who have bought their own brands, and that when they meet me, they tell me that I inspire them. And when they start, people send me pictures. Charlie, there's a brand coming up. I say, no, 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 no. We are not competing amongst each other, because look, when you put all of us together, we don't even do 5% of the shoes, the shoe market. So let's rather build an industry. When you go elsewhere, that is what is done.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big
They
corporations,
collaborate.
they collaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here I don't see anybody as competition. I am rather bringing them together, that we develop an industry, so that yes, when we are gone, people will come and see that there's a well-structured industry, because Kenya has it, Ethiopia, South Africa has it, Ghana, it is too fragmented. So we want to change the mindset of over competitiveness. No, MWA.
Yeah.
So I see you are wearing Daniel shoe chest.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good friend. Yeah.
Next time it will be Horseman Shoes.
Sure. And
Too beautiful. Too beautiful. So tell me about something. I've had an argument quite a number of times about different opportunities relating to the when. When does a person start the business? And I've met two different schools of thought. Some who believe that you must work for a while, they go start a business. Some who say when you enter that pool, coming out will be difficult. Some say then do it as a side job, and then when you're about to retire, there are different schools of thought, and each one is very convinced about their own. What is your philosophy?
The when I will start by sharing a story. The late Togbo Mensah, DDP.
Oh, these are all fantastic friends.
So one day I went to his office, and then he was telling me a story of Butimi. Yeah. So he said the professor was invited to a class to speak, but then that it had a couple of entry points. So when he got there, he didn't know where to enter. He stood there about 30 minutes. The students dispersed. He was just to enter and perform. So he lost the opportunity. Then he gave another story that there is a barricade. People are going for an event. So there's a barricade. People have queued to pay and enter. A guy comes in. He doesn't have the time to queue. He jumps over the barricade. He's into the concert. He didn't pay. So the story was that there's no right time.
I can just imagine his face. Himself and Dr. Ajekum Ado, and then Dr. Asuma Banda.
Yeah, Asuma Banda, yes, another.
They were very interesting crop.
They were street entrepreneurs.
Street and very go-getters who didn't see barriers.
No. Oh, I had a very good conversation with Togbo Mensah. I said, look, sometimes it is just a glass barrier we see, but we think it is brick. Just break it and enter. So for me, I don't think there's a right time. But if you have a chance in corporate, those crop of people also come out with some set of experiences that some of us who didn't have the corporate experience. So they are a bit meticulous. They understand the structures because they have worked in a structured environment. So they bring structure to it. And then we have the street people who start anyhow, and then they learn along the line. So it's a mix. If you're in corporate and you want to do it, there wouldn't be any right time to say that. Don't give yourself time. Once you have the feeling in your heart, just do it. Because one or the other, you would have regrets, you have challenges, but just do it.
I'll do a special show on that, because the number of perspectives that we can bring
just do it.
Is just out of this world.
So a friend came to me. They wanted to leave work, and I asked them that if you leave corporate and you don't get regular income for 6 to 1 year, would you be able to survive? She couldn't answer, so she started on the side. But later she realized that the calling to enter into the entrepreneur was too much. She started having problems with her managers, because instead of chasing the client, she's chasing her tailors. So at a point, he realized that no, it's okay. I have done my time, so let me bow out. So some people will find the right time, others you will not find it. And if the right time doesn't come, just do it.
Let me steal 1 minute to talk about serendipity. The day when you say you are going to Kumasi to go and apprentice under a shoemaker, and then you get a call from Dansuman about 2 bags of leather sitting down doing nothing. A friend of mine was at that inflection point, trying to decide whether to leave her banking job and go full-time in her catering business, and at that point, from nowhere, the bank decides they are doing a redundancy. That means that if you
Okay.
want to voluntarily resign, they'll give you
Resign
big
a
money.
package.
He said, me, I voluntarily resigned,
Yes.
collected the capital, and blew the catering business big time.
Sometimes the stars will align.
Literally.
Yeah.
But there's something about when you just are following, you call it the stars aligning. From my pastoral seat, I see the steps of the righteous person are ordered by God.
Amen.
When you take the right step at the right time, help will come. If you want to wait for all the ducks to line up,
Yep,
you will never move.
That is true.
So what do you want me? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what the
Break
little
the
comments are
glass,
saying.
yeah, jump the
Just
the
go.
barricade.
Yeah, just go.
Charlie.
Just go. And there is no shame in failing.
Let's talk about that a bit.
Yeah, there's no shame in failing. That
Have you failed?
Oh yes, a couple of times. A couple of times. There's no shame in it. You just have to learn from it, you know. And this woman, Alio Jigbodi once said, she was the one, I heard this from her, that pray that your failure comes early so that you learn from it.
You see, I was saying about the small. When it comes early,
Yeah.
one day I met a group of young men. There were 3 or so. They had finished KNUST. They had done, I was in printing then.
You've done stuff. Yeah, I knew. I started knowing you from the combat impressions.
I was in printing then, and they came around. They wanted to start a printing business, and we used to spend a lot of time helping those who were starting fresh to be able to do well. And they came and were trying to give them the starting, and they said no. They were not ready to start small. They wanted to go and borrow at the time 300,000 CDs, and I asked them, why do you want to plunge so deep? They said they want to match graphic boot for boot up front. I said, oh, KNUST graphic. I mean, please.
It doesn't make sense.
But that was there. And at that point, I realized I couldn't help them, and I had to humbly back off and let them go with their big aspirations. So it just aligns to the point you're making about your failure coming early.
Yeah. So it was one thing that Dr. Jacob Ado said at my business 2010, that don't start big with debt.
Yeah.
Don't go into debt. Don't let debt become your seed capital. So scrape through it, bootstrap. At the right time, when you have understood your space, you have seen your challenges, you have a total knowledge, then you can go and say, okay, give me this, I can make this. Yeah.
And the likelihood of you paying is even far higher.
It's far higher. Then you would have gone through proving the concept, having real numbers, and So yeah, the principles are there.
Let's talk about the power of networks.
Yeah.
So you're staying here. Immediately, I can tell that you're somebody who spends time with more accomplished people who are doing it. You also spend time with artisans, spend time with people who may not have had your level of education, like Kumasi, the shoemaker. How important is connections, networks in building business?
Connections opens doors for you. So, like you rightly said, I have had the benefit of being in a lot of spaces. So, in this current moment, most of my mates from Legon are the MPs, the deputy ministers, CEOs of government agencies. So, it's just a phone call away. And over the years, I have had customers become fans, become friends, because of the right experience they had with us. Charlie, what challenge I have? I have someone who can help you source leather. So for networking is very important and should be very intentional, but not overbearing. By overbearing, I mean when you tell young people to network, they start texting you in the morning. How are you? How is your family? I mean, who now your doctor? There should be a science and a structure to it. And networking is as good as any fat check. It takes you to places that you yourself cannot go. So yes, I in fact it is part of my personal value, to build relationship, to build bridges.
Let's talk about the two things that I think are very key. Let's talk about sacrifice. We are in the Easter moment, Easter season, and as we reflect on the sacrifice of Christ and what he did to make us have a better life, let's talk about some of the sacrifices you have had to make to get to where you are. Because trust me, one day somebody said to me, we are bad people.
Yeah.
Because you said it and I tried it and it didn't work. And I said, you listen to the nice side of it. So you assume that if you line up A, B, C, and D, you will become Tonyi Senayah. But you never found out
Mhm.
the moments that were so dark that
Yeah.
he tried running away and then somebody caught him and said, "Oh, the chance." So we owe it to those who are listening to let them know
Yeah.
that it's real.
It's real.
There will be times when you feel like, let's talk about sacrifice.
So at this moment I would say a big thank you to my wife for holding the family together, because sometimes you spend your last penny without even knowing where the next one is coming from, but you do it on faith that let me put in this. You go long hours, long days without coming back home, but somebody's at home taking care of the kids. So that is one of the sacrifices.
Mentioning without mentioning her name. Sure.
Abba. Yeah, my wife Abba. So sacrificing relationships at that stage, my family as we grow. I mean, I started when I wasn't married, but when family comes in, you must bring a balance. Sometimes there are a lot of imbalances, but you still have to move. And also denying yourself of certain pleasures, because at a point, a weekend, boys would want to meet, but then you have to chase your shoemakers. So yeah, I'm coming, but before you realize you're on a bus going to Kumasi, so you have to lose some pleasures, some hangouts, even some relationships. You have to sever them to make sure that you chase your dream, and in the end, all will come back 360. And then you mentioned Christ. I am Catholic, so I'm also in the season of Lent. So believe in God. We are in an era where people think that sincerity is not rewarding, and that they will rather people believe the image you craft. So they have things like fake it till you make it. No, I don't believe in that. Be true to yourself.
Authenticity.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
When you are struggling, let people know that, Charlie, I'm struggling. Help.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And also always have the humility to learn. I have met customers who who had superior knowledge in shoes than I did. And once they buy and go, I still call them that, Charlie, what is the market saying? How do I get to make these shoes better? So the humility in learning. When you don't know, you don't know.
I'm sure if somebody were writing down the values that we have inadvertently, because we didn't say you are listing them,
Yeah.
they will get quite a bit to carry away. Let me end on a very powerful lesson that I found. It said that the testimony of a satisfied client is better than 15 paid advertisements.
Yep.
Tell me about. I know the obvious one is the big endorsement from His Excellency the President. But tell me, do you find that sometimes your big breakthroughs come much more from people who have bought and been satisfied than even you yourself trying to tell the world what you're selling?
Yes. It's always a humbling moment for me. See, I started from my circle. Now I meet people who don't even know me, and when I see they are wearing Horseman shoes, and the one moment came when a friend sent me a picture of a passenger he had seen on a train in Amsterdam. We had a collection called Paddy. The guy was wearing Paddy, so he took a picture and sent to me that is this not your design? I said yes. So those moments, they are really humbling, Albert. I mean, to create something from nothing, that the world embraces and accepts. Yes, it gives me a lot of joy. It gives me a lot of inspiration. I don't know most of my customers now. When they so you're a horseman, I buy for my boss, I buy for my husband, I bought it for my wedding. These are testimonies that
Money can buy.
yeah, money can buy it. Money can buy it. And then recently the finance minister also bought our bag and then took it to Parliament to read his maiden budget.
Charlie,
Yeah.
it is a requirement.
Yeah.
If you want to do well in Parliament, go horseman.
Yeah, so I also give it up to my artisans for sticking with me, because indeed they are the powerhouse. I am the guy who wears spectacles and speak English.
Yeah. But the beauty about it is that you create opportunities for them.
Yes,
they create opportunities for you.
Yeah. So before, let me say there's something that also I learned from my business 2010. Prince Kofi Amabin always said that love the people that you work with genuinely. So it's a principle that when I started, I imbibed in me. So I don't even say that they work for me. They work with me, or I work with them. So their issues are my issues. And as much as they would infuriate you and do things that will make your head want to, spin, you have genuine interest and try to understand them. Have empathy for the people that you work with.
If I had to do my Easter again, I'll do it today again. This is the perfect conversation to situate on a day of sacrifice, a day of resurrection, that even if something you are doing has died in your mind and in your heart and in your hands, it can rise up again. And this is just a very beautiful conversation. Before we end, just look into this camera and speak to that person who says, hey, it's good for him or media. I've suffered and I wonder whether I'll have a story to tell one day.
Well, before I do that, maybe on behalf of the millions that you have inspired, we would want to say thank you. And me personally, when I was 10 years old in business, in this very studio, you and Comfort did something that you made me cry. So you honored me in such a way that I was so embarrassed. So today, I have come here to also honor you and say,
You know, I've forgotten that one.
yeah.
I was going to ask you that. Do you remember your
Oh, yes.
It was the 10th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, no, 10th enterprise anniversary. Yeah, in business. So yes.
Goodness.
So this is top of the range leather bag. Yeah, we call it Senayah.
Senayah.
Yeah. So
Charlie, the next time you see me, they must go to parliament. They must find a way to go to parliament with this bag.
So this is a slight variation of what we did for the finance member. We did this for the president.
What color was that one?
It was a shade of brown.
And this one was for the president.
Yes, we did this for the president.
Henceforth, I'm the president of Springboard.
So Albert, just to say thank you.
Please let me tell you so they see the Horseman logo on it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just to say thank you.
Very kind. Send my warm regards to first to Abba and then to the entire Horseman team that works with you on this.
Thank you. You have inspired us a lot. And if we don't know anything about it, about what you've done, you're great and consistency. God bless you.
We love what you do. We love what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you too.
Yeah. So to my young people listening, always start small. Never be afraid to fail. Be consistent and be patient. There's no rush. You make your mistakes, you learn from it, and never give up.
I should cut this portion and put it on YouTube because every word means something.
Yeah.
And I pray that somebody listening today will find the vim, the strength, the belief, and the courage to hold on to their dream. That one day they too will sit in this chair and say, you know what, I heard Horseman when he was speaking. Today I'm here in my own right.
Yeah.
What a beautiful time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Reverend Albert Okran.
Oh, you're the man. You are the man.
We knew your name when we were young. Today we are sitting here having a conversation with you, still looking the same.
You'll be back, and this time we'll add on another layer to the story. Maybe that time we've gone to sign with some big MOU, some governments.
On Easter Sunday, I received this. Amen.
That's right. So this has been our special Easter edition of Springboard, your virtual university. You can call it the Entrepreneurial edition, call it the Resurrection edition, call it the Sacrifice edition, or maybe call it the Genuine Love edition of Springboard, your virtual university. My friend Tonyi Senayah, who has been gracious enough to give me a special presidential bag. And the name is what? Senayah.
Senayah.
Hello, add Senayah to my name anytime I hold the bag. But a reminder of true friendship and the beauty of observing a story unfold in the way that his has. I think the best is yet to come.
Of course, yes. We are very hopeful that we are just scratching the surface.
Yes, the best is yet to come. This has been brought to you by Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with Enterprise Group, MTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Our media friends are all over the world, and would like to especially thank Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, graphic newspapers, and of course, the Springboard channel on YouTube. Don't forget to please go ahead and register your business or sign up your business or register for the Enterprise Spotlight so we can throw light on your business today. And who knows, 16 years from now, sit in the studio and celebrate your big achievement, just like we've done with Horseman Shoes. How do you do that? Please text the word or WhatsApp the word Enterprise to 024 9999 555. and let's get ready to throw the spotlight on your business as well. My name is Albert Okran, saying God bless you, and God bless you.